Hi, I'm Colleen Anderson, and I'm a financial advisor with the Capital Group based in Madison, Wisconsin. In this video, we'll cover the appointment of Kevin Warsh as the new chair of the Federal Reserve and what his policy views could mean for the economy and how you might think about this change as an investor. Whenever there's a change in leadership at the Federal Reserve, people pay close attention. The Fed is the central bank of the United States. It sets interest rates and it helps manage overall health of the economy. Its decisions have shaped financial markets for many, many decades, and through events like the 2008 financial crisis and more recently, the period of high inflation. Within the next few minutes, we'll look at leadership change in this historical context and walk through some of Warsh's key beliefs about economic policy and explain what of any of this could mean for your investments. Before we talk about Warsh, let's zoom out for a second. Take a look at this chart. The U.S. economy has grown through a lot, under a lot of different Fed chairs appointed by a lot of different presidents. Volcker, Greenspan, Bernanke, Yellen, Powell, each one of these walked into a mess of their own. High inflation in the 70s and 80s, the 2008 financial crisis, a global pandemic, a brutal run of rising prices. Every single time, the economy has found its footing. Here's the thing. The Fed is powerful, but not all powerful. It can't stop a financial crisis from starting. It cannot prevent a pandemic. It can't control what happens overseas or what new technology does to the job market. It responds to the world. It does not run it. Bottom line, yes, who leads the Fed matters, but observing every other rate decision or every press conference, that's how investors lose sight of what actually drives the long-term results. The big picture has a pretty good track record, and I think you should keep your eyes on it. So who is Kevin Warsh and what does he actually believe? He's not a newcomer. Warsh served on the Fed's Board of Governors from 2006 to 2011, right through the heart of the financial crisis. He's seen what happens when things go wrong. In his Senate testimony, he said that he wants a Fed with a clearer match between its powers and its responsibilities. Translation, a Fed that stays in its lane. He's also been called an inflation hawk, which is just a fancy way of saying that he'd rather keep interest rates a little higher than let inflation get out of hand. Think of it like this. He'd rather tap the brakes early than slam on them later. Then there's the balance sheet. The Fed currently holds about $6.7 trillion in assets. Take a closer look at this chart. It ballooned during every major crisis. Warsh's view is straightforward. If you expand in the crisis, you will pull back when the crisis is over. His argument is saying that in emergency mode, if you stay in emergency mode too long, it actually has added to the national debt. Here's the thing though, none of this plays out in a neat timeline. Right now, headline inflation has ticked back up, I should say, mostly driven by gas prices. That makes Warsh's road ahead more complicated than his philosophy might suggest. The beliefs are clear, the path forward, maybe a little less so. Markets have lived through every kind of interest rate environment that you can imagine. High rates, low rates, rising, falling, and everything in between. They've also lived through plenty of tension between the White House and the Fed. That's not new. It's happened under presidents from both parties, and sometimes with the very chairperson that they actually picked. And through all of it, the markets have moved forward. Here's the thing. The new Fed chair might stir up some short-term noise, but leadership changes at the Fed don't rewrite a deeper force that actually drives long-term returns. Corporate earnings, productivity, innovation, demographics, these are the things that move the needle over time. So the bottom line, your financial plan was not built around Jerome Powell, and it should not be rattled by Kevin Warsh. The investors who come out ahead are usually the ones that stay focused on the long-term game and don't let the headlines do the thinking for them. If any of this has raised questions about your own situation, then please reach out. That's exactly what I'm here for.